Hey everybody, it's Coffee with Mick. I'm hanging out as discussion, whatever I want to talk about in the moment. I've kind of come to a very startling revelation about a lot of new Trek these days. A very startling revelation about new Star Trek. Yeah. The vast majority of it is nowhere near as bad as old fans say it is, and most of them either just want a repeat of the storytelling of The Next Generation or Voyager or Deep Space Nine, or are just racist. Now the former I can kind of understand. You know, I would like a traditional Star Trek series as much as the next guy, and everything's just so arc-driven, cinematic these days. There's not that many standalone single episodes across all TV. That's just how it's done. Everything's connecting, everything's overarching, everything's epic, everything's cinematic. Like, you got Discovery, where every episode feels like it's a frickin' movie. And then you got Star Trek Picard, which is it's this crazy political spy thriller in the first season. Yeah. Who is Data's daughter? I will find Data's daughter. No, that's the worst Picard voice ever. Yeah. The closest thing we really got to a traditional Star Trek show, in my opinion, was Star Trek Lower Decks, and that was a comedy. But it also gave us a lot of standalone stories. You know, many of which built on old stories from previous canon, but yeah. And short treks. We need more short treks. I like short treks. Just simple 15 to 18 minute shorts of that solves the B plot problem. In Discovery, I feel like it was good, but I would have liked some more B plots. It didn't really have that many. Short treks solves that answer. If you can't fit the B plot into your actual show, just make a series of just B plots. That's a good idea. Short B-plot style Star Trek stories. Yes, they're just fun. People would like that. Ugh. That's not to say, really a vast majority of the complaints about New Trek is the racism, is the homophobia. It's mostly that, and it's ugh. The worst part about it is, so many of them will, just guise themselves as rational critics, just claiming that, it's just not, as, into the spirit of Star Trek, saying, oh, man, they wrote Klingons way wrong in this. It's oh, well, that makes me not want to watch it. Then I watched Discovery, and they're basically the same. Just the design is different, which they changed back, which they explain in Season 2. They were meant to look different. They grew their hair back. In Season 1, they just shaved their heads. It was a weird decision, but hey, I prefer a Star Trek series to try something new and it failing than just to do the exact same thing they've done before and just succeed. That's boring. Because now we can laugh at the designs of Discovery Season 1 Klingons. In Season 2, they got their hair back and L'Rell looks fine. L'Rella. Mother of the Klingons. And her weird situationship with Ash Tyler, aka Vuk. Oh, those poor two. They had a plan and it kinda didn't work all the way they wanted. Ain't that just life? Ain't that just life? But no one's really complaining about actual problems with a new Trek. Picard, there's pacing problems, of course. Discovery, it's it does also suffer from prequelitis, where it's oh, how is Spock had a sister this whole time and no one's ever talked about it? Because they made it in order for them to not talk about Discovery or Michael the So every time you're watching Star Trek the original series, Spock is ordered not to talk about his sister who is trapped in the future. Gee, thanks, Discovery. Thanks for making that show depressing. Seriously, I like that show, but yeah. But for real, like, my main crux of this is, if you're gonna complain about new Trek, please don't let it just be, well, it's not like the old show, or it's too woke. Criticize it for the modern piece of television it is, okay? Yeah. That's all we gotta ask. That's all I can ask of you. Hope you can hate new Trek in an intelligent way or learn to love it. And as always, I hope you have a moment.